So we are going to solve this question. So the question is, the monthly salary of employees in a company follows a normal distribution with a mean salary of Rs 2000 and standard deviation of Rs 200. So we know that the mean. So first of all, we'll write given. So we write mean is given by 2000 and standard deviation T is given by Rs 200. Now the question states, find the range of income for the lowest 60% of employees. So find the range of income for the lowest 60% of the employees. Sorry, this is not lowest. He said this is middle, alright. So the question is wrongly framed here. Middle 60% of the employees. So now first of all we need to draw the small z normal distribution graph. So this is the Z table. And the middle 60% states to this portion. This is the middle 60%. And when you have the middle 60%, you get 20% on this side, and then you get 20% on this side, and 60% on this side. So this 60% in the middle starts from this point. Let's say this point to be A, and ends at this point. Let's say this point to be B. And this is the minimum, that is the minimum income, and this is the maximum income. Now if you make a range out of A and B, then you'd get the answer of this question. Alright, so how do you do this? So you can already see that the point A, this is often the value of Z in this graph. So this point A can be represented by P, Z, alright. Yeah, we can write Z is less than or equal to A. Let's say A be the value of this point, right, is equal to, so it's 20%, then the probability is 0.2. So then we can write x minus 2000 by 200 equals to 0.2. So this is the first case. So from here we can write, from here we can obviously go to 0.2. so this is the value. Now this 0.2 is the value of the answer. Alright, so this is the answer that we get from Z table. So let's say we have this Z table. When we plug in this value of this particular quantity, that is Z, then we get the output as 0.2. Now in order to get this value of Z, we need to reverse this process. That means we need to enter the value of 0.2 in the z table. We need to source the value of 0.2, and what we get is the output as z. So how do we do this? In order to do that, now we shift on to z table. So this is our z table. Now you can see that our value is 0.2, and the most important thing about our value here is that our value, that is particularly 0.2, is on the negative scale of things. That means this is on negative side, right? So we need to look at the negative side. So it starts with, so we need to search where is what is the closest value to 0.2. So we have 1.5, 4, 228, 222, 217, 212, 207, 202, and 197. So we have the closest values in this point, but if you closely observe, this 202, right, that is 0.202 is the closest value that we can often obtain, right? Is there any other close values? Sorry, we want to find 0.2, not 0.02, all right? So we look for 0.2, and we will source them in this set table. I think here it is 0.2005. So 0.2005 will be 0.84, right? So this will be minus 0.84 p. Z is less than x minus 200 by 2000 by 200, and this will be z is less than minus 0.84. Now if you just plug in the values, that means now you can equate this part with this part, and in that process you can write x minus 2000 by 200 equals to minus 0.84, and then you can write x minus 2000 equals to minus 0.84 times 200, and you will get the value of x to be 1832 rupees, right? So this will be the value of point A. Now what will be the value of point B? So in order to find now, finding the value of, okay, sorry, I forgot it to fit the screen again. Now we will again finding the value of B. I hope you understand what I wrote just now. So how do you find the value of B? So in order to do that, you have probability of x. You can see that if you look at this point, then this is 80% on the less than side. So we'll just write probability of z is less than x minus mu by sigma will be equal to 0.8. So this will be all the probabilities on this side. Now I already told you the same process. If you plug in the value of this value, the value of z on the z table, then you get the output as the probability. Now if you put probability into the z table, then you should get the output as the value of z, and we'll do the same thing, and this time the probability is 0.8, right? This time the probability is 0.8, because you cannot take the probability of this side, you should take the probability of occurrence of the left side. So now the probability of occurrence or 0.8 is given by, so what do you get here is from the Z table. I would like you to look at the Z table. That means now on the positive Z table, because we are looking at the positive side. Now we are going to find the value of 0.8, right? So here is 0.8023106.078. I think this is the closest to what we can get, or is there any values? Okay, this is I think the closest, because this is only 0.05 difference, or this is 0.078 difference. So this is the closest that we can get. That means 0.84. So we get the value as 0.84. Now if you equate this, that means now you can write x minus mu, that is 2000 by 200 equals to 0.84. Now we get the answer as 0 minus, sorry, now we get the answer as x minus 2000 is equals to 200 times 0.84, and now we get the value of x to be 2000, r is 2168. So this is what we get, the range. So now the range is now the range is from rupees 1832 as being the minimum value to the max value of this range to be rs 2168. Alright, so this is the answer to the first question. And now we are going to find out the value to the second question, that is the lowest income of the richest 10% employees. So the lowest income of richest 10%. So how do you find this? Now if you look at the Z table again, right, the richest 10% lie in this category, and this is the lowest income of the richest 10%. So we have 10% here, and this is the lowest income of the richest 10%. If 10% starts from here, then in this side you have 90% of employees, right? So now if you just draw the probability graph, you are going to write z is less than x minus mu by sigma, which will be equal to 0.9. Now you are going to plug in the value of probability in this z table and find the value of z. So in order to do that, you look at the z table. Now you can clearly see that this is on the positive side of the z table. So we are going to refer to the positive z table, and we are going to find the value that is closest to 0.9. So we have 9015 and 0.8997. I think this is the closest value. And if you just look at this, is what this is 1.28, right? So this is 1.28. So this will be probability of z is less than, put the value of x to be as x, mu to be as 2000, this is 200, and this will be probability of z is less than 1.28, right? Now sorry, less than or equal to, now we can obviously write this as x minus 2000 equals to 200 into 1.28, and then you get the lowest income of the richest 10%, that is given by rs 2256. And again, now we proceed on to the next question. Now the question it has also asked us to find out the highest income of the lowest 10%. Income of lowest 10%. So in order to do that, we write P Z is less than or equal to x minus 2000 by 200. This is just routine now. And the lowest 10%. So if you draw the Z table, you can see that this is the lowest 10%. This is the income. So if I find the value of this point, then I can obviously write. So this will be 0.1. So this will directly be Pz is less than 0.1. Now if you solve this question, now 0.1 will be equal to 0.1. Now if you plug in this probability value inside the Z table, then you get the output. So in order to do that, now we put this value of 0.1. Remember, this time we should use the negative Z table. And why is that? It is because we are everything on the negative side. So now we are going to look at negative Z table. We are going to look at 0.1, not 0.01, not 0.001, but 0.01 as the closest value to it. So it can be on the 9 scale, that is 0.968. So we have a difference of like 32 here, 0.00332, and I think that must be the value. Okay, so here it is, the smallest value, and this will be equal to 1.28. So this will be equal to Z is less than or equal to x minus 2000 by 200. This is the value, and this will be equal to minus 0.28. Z is less than or equal to minus 1.28. I'll write this in a good form, right? So this will be equal to P Z is less than or equal to minus 1.28. So we'll get x minus 2000 equals to minus 1.28 into 200. So we'll get the value of x to be 1744. So this is the highest income of the lowest 10% of the employees, and from this way we can calculate the values of different things inside the Z table. This is the exact opposite process of the previous question that we did in this channel. In this channel we are done by calculating the value of Z. We have find out the probability, but we can also get the probability and find out the value of Z, and this is particularly the reverse question. So this is all for today. I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and see you later.